I am at one with all that I am, at one with all that I am, at one with all that I am, at one with all that I am. I am at one with all that I am, at one with all that I am, at one with all that I am, at one with all that I am. Hello everyone, this is Chrism, and I'd like to invite you to another conversation about your Kundalini awakening process. In this conversation, I would like to discuss with you the top-down, meaning top of the head to the base of the spine, Kundalini awakening manifestation. This is often the way it goes when a person is within a very, very profound and consistently deep devotional practice, a love of God practice, love of the God that coincides with your particular belief system. This can often be referred to in the literature as a mystical awakening. The top of the head is enlightened, and yet all the other chakra centers below have not received that enlightenment, but they are. They're in that process of going 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This can be a very difficult activity to have upon the body. It's going from refinement to density, and refining that density through the hand of God, Goddess, upon the person. So from the ultra fine denseness of the crown to the less dense aspect of the sixth and the fifth and the fourth, third, second, and first. This propels a person into an extremely rapid refinement process, and it can be very difficult. It can change your life in wonderful ways, in very scary ways at times, and difficult ways at other times, joyous transformations. Your life literally changes. Your relationships will change, your job may change, your outlook on life will change. Every aspect of who you are will begin to go through extreme, profound change. And this is all good. This is all good. Even though it can be challenging, this is all very, very good. And, I congratulate those of you who are experiencing this right now. Another way for this to occur for a person is through the auspices of ethnogens, or the consuming of light-bearing fungi or plants, such as ayahuasca, peyote, certain types of blue crush mushrooms, which meaning when you crush them in your hand, it stains a blue color. This is a typical indicator for psilocybin-based mushrooms. This can happen with people who are of a devotional nature, searching for God, or having an already manifested connection with God, and let's eat this psilocybin, and boom, the top of their head gets blown off, and they are put into this incredible array of challenging refinement phenomena. This can be very overloading for the human psyche, the human consciousness, and often these people will go into a psychiatric treatment facility, often, and they may be prescribed extremely profound and strong tranquilizers for a large portion of their future after that activity. If they are unwilling or unable to surrender to the Kundalini that is coming through them, or shall we say the divine construct coming through them, then they will try to bury it beneath a curtain of drugs. This does not always work, but this is what they will try to do. I do not recommend people go on a search for God or Kundalini through the use of these light-bearing plants. Waiting for him to get a little distance there. Yeah, Harley Davidson. So, as this top-down manifestation occurs upon the person, extreme examples of refinement take place. You will feel incredible love within your heart center. If it's from a devotional aspect, if it's from a light-bearing plant aspect, extreme psychic phenomena can occur. You will see, you will interact with various entities and various levels of what your subconscious will pull up for you from your past and from your current present state. In many ways, the eyelids have been prematurely removed from the psychic eye of the person, and this person is opened to that which surrounds us at all times, that which, our five senses, through the grace of the divine, allows us not to see until we're ready to see it. Some people will have a karmic disposition towards this type of opening. They will need to know what it is to force themselves into the divine presence. And this has its own set of learnings, forcing the Kundalini to open up. The life is never the same afterwards. Okay, never the same, as it is with any case of Kundalini infusion. But this case the top-down manifestations can be very, very, very beautiful and very, very, very difficult. Much more so than the bottom, from the base of the spine to the top of the head scenarios. From there, the base of the spine to the top of the head, you're going from unrefinement towards refinement. Okay, and even though those processes are also difficult at times, they seem to be a little bit more manageable than the top-down processes. So just be aware of this. If you are doing a lot of experimentation with psilocybin or some of these other chemical induced storming the gates of heaven, so to speak, this may actually open up areas of the human system to the Kundalini going in reverse order. I won't place much of a judgment on it. I just noticed that with the people that come to me for Kundalini assistance, those that have received it through severe devotion and through severe neogenic use, have prolonged, difficult scenarios come upon them, much more so than the bottom to top, from the base of the spine to the top of the head scenario. So in my experience in working with the Kundalini awakened, I would suggest that you begin to practice the safeties that you can find in the left menu of Kundalini Awakening Systems, #1.com. And begin, especially if you are inside of a top-down activation right now, practice the safeties. What you're doing is, as you practice the safeties, the top-down manifestation is going this way, but you can meet that with the bottom to top. Often it'll meet right at the heart of the person, or it'll meet right at the spine. This gives you a far more balanced perspective. Although the information and the experience is powerful, life-changing, without a doubt. So know this when you're experimenting recreationally with some of these entheogens, entheogen being a word for light-bearing plant consumption or fungi consumption. LSD, I don't know where that fits in. It used to be called Baker's High, which was made from the mold that was attached to some types of rye bread back in the day when they were making it and didn't have good storage facilities. The pharmaceutical grade, I guess, is just another purified form of that. That can also lead to a top-down awakening. Typically, they are top-down with these chemicals. Not often is it bottom to top. Sometimes it is. I can't speak in an absolutist format because Kundalini and karma also come into play with this. And, within a Kundalini karmic scenario, the divine will manifest within the person any way she wants, any way it wants. And if that karma is determined for that individual to have the experience of a top-down Kundalini refinement, well then so will it be. It will be that way. And there is no judgment. Top-down, bottom-up, it's all Kundalini anyway. Some have a little bit more of a challenging characteristic, but either way, Kundalini is a very challenging state of experience. And all in all, it's the most blessedly profound, love-based, beautiful experience that a person can actually have while in the flesh body. It is stunning in its beauty and its love and its grace and its graciousness upon you, the person. But within the difficulties of the top-down or bottom-up activation, you're challenged. But I just want you to remember that the light at the end of the tunnel is extremely beautiful. And yes, you surrender completely to the Kundalini. You discern the messages that are given to you in your dreams. You discern the new behavioral patterns that you need to adopt in your day-to-day interactions with other people and with life in general. You don't go around killing things as you may have, stepping on that bug or whatever, the myriad ways that human beings disenfranchise other life forms. You adopt the safeties, okay? You become a love-based individual, a trusting, honest, tolerant, compassionate, sympathetic, healing, diligent individual. You'll always do self-correction every day. You'll look at an action that you just did or you did yesterday and you go, how could I have done that differently? How could I have done that along the lines of the safeties? And over and over and over you do the self-correction, and the self-correction is the refinement process in action upon you and within you and being given as an instruction to you from that Shakti Kundalini within. So these top-downs, which is basically what this conversation is about, these top-down awakenings are challenging, but they are Kundalini nonetheless. Okay? They are Kundalini nonetheless, and you are being graced with the divine infusion. Thanks for watching and listening. I am at one with all that I am.